Hey, CFL fans. World Cup fever is sweeping in Vancouver. And tonight we're going to talk about Team Canada and Team Portugal. No. Instead, we're going to talk about Hamilton 41, BC 27. Roland and I'm going to kick this around, go through what went right and what went wrong. Next on the Three Down Bros.
All right, all right. Welcome, everyone. Thanks all for joining us. If you're joining us on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, welcome. As usual, this is our Monday evening shows, our weekly show. And we invite you to type in your comments on the chat, whether you want to say something or you agree or disagree with something that we say. We'd love to interact with you. This show is all about us as fans enjoying this wonderful game of the CFL and enjoying our favorite team, the BC Lions. Um, SPX, SPX reps again says on TikTok, "Hey, I said I would be back. Better late than never." Yes, welcome back, SPX. All right, so we have a good show for you guys today. We're going just a quick agenda. We're gonna do a quick recap of this humiliating loss to the Hamilton this past Friday. Just some additional thoughts, and then we're going to talk about what some of the personal changes are coming into this week, preparing for the Calgary game. We're also going to look at a couple of the CFL games this past weekend, particularly the Saskatchewan versus Calgary one and the Montreal versus Edmonton one. And then we'll look ahead into this first of two Kelowna games. So Calgary versus BC, and we'll talk about that. And then we'll end off as usual with our predictions for what the score will be for the Calgary game. And we invite you to tell us what your predictions are as well. And we record that, and we'll see who gets it right. Okay, so Arthur, I guess a quick recap from your point of view of the BC versus Hamilton game.
Wow, it was quite a disappointment, I have to say, watching some high level international football over the past, say, 2 weeks, and then big games and the stars coming out to play for the big games, except for my Cristiano Ronaldo. But for the Lions, yeah, it was a bit of a disappointment. Like I said, um, we had some tough we had a tough injury situation with the receivers, and Bo Levi Mitchell exploited us deep,
Yeah,
and we couldn't punch. Although the offense did move downfield, kicking field goals, while Bo Levi Mitchell's was throwing deep to, I'd say, some of the receivers were wide open or whatever, but they were getting completions and they were getting touchdowns. We're kicking field goals, and you're on the road. That was a tough pill to swallow.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, Let me read a few comments here. Yeah, so Aiden Zimmerman says injuries. Yeah, absolutely. That was the biggest story. Um, Cuman says Tuhema is toast. Yeah, we'll talk about that a bit when we talk about personnel changes um, after this segment. Just Believe says, is Greg still chilling on vacation? Yes, he is. Cuman says McInnes is now hurt too. Yeah, he got tweaked in the game and he didn't. I think he didn't practice today, right? Just Believe says Lions about to get destroyed this week. Yes, Just Believe is a big Calgary fan. Wayne says it was a bad game, but I think injuries played a part in the problems. It really McInnes is injured. Yeah, that's what I heard. That he didn't practice today. Um, so my quick thoughts on the game. As Arthur said, injuries played a big part. We knew that it was going to be an uphill battle for our offense with four of our starting receivers out. Um, but on defense is, I think, where the biggest disappointment was because we had all of our starting defense there, and our secondary just did not perform. Our D line could not perform either. So that's I think the biggest disappointment. Even our O line, wasn't really that great. Even though we did get some injuries on the O line too. But
Allowed 3 sacks.
yeah, Human says looks like Hatcher did practice. Yeah, yeah. So I think Hatcher should be good. I met both Hatcher and Rourke on Saturday. They had a meet and greet in Kitsilano. So he said yes, he's going to be for sure going to be playing on Saturday. Um, LMJ Football says, should the Lions trade for a DE? Yeah,
Uh, I mean, I
hard to
think they should
say.
trade for someone in their secondary first. I mean, if they had a wish list, right? There's other things. I think there's, in my opinion, I think there's other priorities
Yeah,
personnel wise. But I mean,
DBs. Yeah,
they do need it'd be great to have a pass rush without blitzing,
yeah.
a more consistent pass rush for
But
sure.
we know that our players can. That's the
Mm,
problem. We've got the horses who's proven before that they can provide a pass rush. For whatever reason,
mhm,
it's just not clicking with the D line. Not yet, anyway. So hopefully they'll figure it out soon.
mhm.
Um, Shane says, I feel like the Riders exposed the Lions defense and Hamilton capitalized on that. Yeah, definitely. I think Bo Levi came in knowing that our DBs were weak, and he shredded them. Yeah. Shane says trade bets to the Riders for Malcolm Bell. I'm not sure about that. What do you think, Arthur?
Come on.
uh, Joker says throw some money at Duquoy. Duquoy.
Duquois. I think
Duquois.
he retired, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen him around.
He retired.
Yeah. So if the Lions really needed a DN, maybe they go after Bagna from the Ticats. Yeah. Wayne says, I agree, Arthur. A DB would be better to trade for yet. Joker says, pull him out of retirement. Talking about Duquois. Yeah. So, yeah, tough. There's a comment on TikTok from Jackson asking for Brian Burnham to come back. I think Brian Burnham's playing days are over. I love him. I have his jersey, and I'll maybe wear it one of these days, but number 16. But I think his playing days are over. Uh, Wayne says, is Shane a Riders fan?
Might be actually.
Maybe. Shane says, I got a good question, though. What pass defense isn't struggling this year? You could argue most are.
Not bad. Yeah.
Uh,
It's. I
Hamilton's
mean,
Hamilton's look
struggling.
Hamilton's look
Yeah.
pretty good.
Well, they're ahead. We kind of abandoned the run a bit. When you're ahead and you're not at home, it's gonna look better. Uh, and Nathan was trying to use some RPOs, and I think he got caught on one or two RPOs, and that's why. And we had a 3 sack a lot given up game. So
Yeah,
that could just be um, with the run pass option, like receivers have to be in the right spot, and then like he's probably gonna give it to the running back or do a quick pass, and if the receivers aren't in the right spot, again, I can't see the tape. Then he has to pull it down, and then you're gonna get sacked. So it's not necessarily an O line issue if he's getting blown up in an RPO.
yeah. So Sav Gala on TikTok says need to work on the running game. Yeah, I think that's another thing that I would have loved to see on in the Hamilton game is that just do more runs. Uh, um, but it's so hard when you're behind. You're behind by 2 touchdowns, Then they got a third touchdown fairly quickly soon after that.
Yeah, it
It's
was like 21-6, right? I
yeah,
mean,
you got to be a very disciplined play caller to still commit to the run at that point. But yeah, I think if you really have confidence in your team, you do that, right? Because by not abandoning the run, then you open up the passing game too.
mm,
Mav says, "Is there any concern with the Lions start?" Well, last year they started slow, and during the off season, everyone was saying the head coach, everyone was saying we got to start fast this year. So after 2 games, that hasn't come to pass yet. Uh, Arthur, any concern?
you know what I'm going to say. In a 9-team league, that 6 make the playoffs. 6 out of 9 teams make the
It'll be
playoffs.
8 next year.
Yeah. So, am I concerned that Lions slow start? I mean, okay. Who, what are the two toughest road games that Lions could play? Roland.
The two toughest.
I mean,
I'm thinking
Saskatchewan's got
mostly
to
the
be
West
there,
Saskatchewan. I think Winnipeg's another two.
and then like you could say Montreal's a tough place to play, and then
Yeah,
Hamilton, right?
yeah,
I mean, we had 2 road games after a bye. Sure, we sure need that bye now, not to the first week.
yeah.
I'll tell you that. But I'd say 2 tough places to play. Um, Harris was hot the first game, and Bo Levi, give him credit, he was
He came out
sizzling,
hot. Yeah,
and he
yeah,
came out hot. I mean, that was his 3rd game, right? So
yeah,
they get the bye this week, I think, and he was cooking. So give him credit. Um, and the Lions were, yeah. I mean, let's see what happens when they play at home, right? They got to play at home for me to see what's going on. But on the road, it's tough. And you're playing good teams. If you can be like 500 on the road and you can win most of your home games, you'll have a good record.
yeah. Joker Blitz, a serious option might be Malden, the former Red Black. Calgary didn't sign him back. What position is Malden?
I think he's a Dion, a
A
defensive
D end.
lineman.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly, if the Lions are ahead and the other team has to pass, the D line, the pass rush will get home more.
Yeah,
If you are behind and your secondary is kind of getting exposed,
yeah,
you're really relying on the pass rush. If they're what we talked about on Friday, right? They had 5, 6, 7 guys in pass protection.
yeah,
I mean, if we're not blitzing, even if we blitz a little bit, like we send 1 or 2 extra guys, they're picking it up. But then if they're sending out 3 receivers, 4 receivers in that scenario, and they're still getting open, and we have all these guys in coverage.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's the issue with the pass rush. I mean, if the
It'll
issue in the
help.
pass rush is if they rush 4 and they only have 5 in protection, we got to get some pressure.
Yeah, we need to be
Yeah,
able to
in that
apply pressure
scenario.
with 4. Yeah,
Yeah. If they only have 5 back, like they're offensive linemen, right?
yes,
Then we got to get pressure.
yeah. So let me read a few comments here. Joker says Benavides is a better special teams coordinator than a DC. Coverages get ripped apart. Yeah. The thing with Benavides in the last few years is that I'm not convinced that he knows how to take advantage of our players' um, strengths. He forces them to a scheme where they're weak, and yeah, and
I've
so
seen every scheme being run, Roland. They're getting beat every scheme, man. I
so you
mean,
think it's the horses? We don't have the horses. It's
I
because it's
mean,
either or it could be both, right?
it could be a bit of both. I
We-
mean, they got beat on prevent. They get beat in man. They get beat in zone.
But the problem is we've seen good players get beat. So like in this last game, we saw Finley got beat. and he was on fire last year, near the end of last year. We
Yeah.
saw TJ Lee get beat, and I mean, I don't expect him to be 100%, but no, he normally doesn't get beat like that. So something's up, right?
I mean, that one on TJ, that was a mm, big time catch by Lawler. That was big time catch. With Finley, he just lost his footing. I mean, I still think Keandre said mix that catch, but they would have tackled him on the 5 yard line. But he just ran deep, and then yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just
Yeah,
don't know if we have the horses, and we don't have an overwhelming pass rush to shoulder the inexperienced secondary.
yeah. Okay, let me read a few more comments. CJ from TikTok: Are the Riders the best team in the West in your opinion? I think at this point in time, they're showing to be the best. That might change over the season, but I think right now I would say they are. Um, Zimmerman is asking, how long is this episode? We usually go for an hour, maybe a bit more, an hour 15 max. So by around 9:15, we should be wrapping up. Um, Shane asks, Hamilton usually has that heavy O-line package. It's hard to get any pressure on Bo at all.
Yeah, I mean, they know how to
Yeah,
protect their
yeah,
like their bread and butter is that deep passing game, or
yeah. But you see,
right?
if they've got if they have extra people on the O line, that means they're rushing. They're sending out less receivers. That means we
Hmm.
we should we should have more DBs than receivers, right? So
That's right. So yeah, that's exactly it. They're still getting open.
yeah.
So like, what can you
That's right.
like?
Kuman says, Modlin retired. He is done. Could hardly play for awful Stampeders last year.
Ooh, that's a little shot there, Cuban. That's a little shot.
Just Believe says, BC is the same boat as Calgary, need a new coach.
Ooh, which kind of coach? Just believe. Which coach in
Well,
particular?
Shane says, I wouldn't say need a new head coach.
Well, I don't think anyone's saying that.
Yeah. Human says, we get beat in match, cover 3, cover 2, high and cut. Couldn't even play man versus Ticats. Yeah, that's what Arthur's saying. Yeah. So Zimmerman says, yeah, and the Riders are the best in the league. At this point, I'm going to say at this point, because it's still a long season and things do change. As a Rider fan, I think it's Edmonton. They are a well more rounded team than the Riders. Yeah, actually, we'll talk about that in a bit. The Montreal game with Edmonton, they look pretty solid. So I'm very surprised at how they've improved
They
from
played
from
at
last
home,
year.
right?
Yeah, that was home.
A home game. It makes a big difference,
It
Roland.
does. It does.
And also they almost squandered the lead. Like
Yeah. Blake says we should have contacted him to be a Greg replacement.
I mentioned that to Roland, but it was too late.
uh, okay, let me read some more comments from TikTok. From T, our DBs can't cover and we have no pass rush. Not a good combo. We did play 2 tough road games though. JSJ is asking, is Nathan Rourke overrated? I'll let
Ooh.
Arthur answer that first, and then
Uh no, I don't think he's overrated. He has underperformed his standard, right? So if his standard is, I mean, I would say his standard is wins and losses,
yeah,
right? But I would say his standard is wins and losses in the playoffs, right? Week 2 and 3, game 1 and 2 of the season, I don't think he's too torn up. I mean, he's still probably torn about, but it's right now it's process. Results matter in football, right? You only
yes,
have 18 games in a year.
yes,
Results matter, but process has to be there. They have to be growing together. They have to be sticking together through adversity. So there's a lot of things that have to be done. But
yeah,
I don't think he's. I don't think anyone. Well, I don't think anyone in the BC Lions camp is panicking, and I'm not panicking.
yeah.
Maybe Greg is panicking, but
Well, we don't know because he's in a cruise right now. Yeah. So JSJ follows up and saying, he admits that he is good, but is he really that good? I I think so. In my opinion, and I met him on Saturday, and the day after the game. It's such a stinging loss, right, on Friday, and then he was out and doing the meet and greets on Saturday, and I saw him, and the first thing I said was tough loss yesterday, and he said, yeah, he knows, but he said, well, we'll turn it around. So that was his first response was, even after such a humiliating loss, he said, we'll turn it around. So I like that in him, right? That it's a loss. We'll just you know brush it off, and he knows he can do better. Um, so so yeah, he's not performing at the level that we expect him to be. That he knows that he can play, but I think he will get there, and I think he'll get there in the next few games. That's my feeling. Um, Blake says Rourke is the only thing that keeps this team somewhat afloat. um, okay, Wayne says the Riders should have won the game against the Stamps by 3 touchdowns, but Mace decided to kick that field goal before the half and gave the Stamps life.
Now that was not a good call.
Yeah,
That field goal at the end of that into the wind. Oh, I don't know, man. That was
yeah. All right. Um, okay, so let's talk about personnel issues. So we know that we have a whole bunch of receivers that are out injured. So let's talk through them. Kotoy and Barry Hill are out on the 6-game injured list. McGee is also on 6 games, but I'm hearing that McGee might be serious in that he might be out for the whole year. Um, Hatcher was a game time decision, and he didn't play against Hamilton, but it looks like he's going to be playing for in Kelowna with Calgary. And um, and McInnes was the only healthy receiver in the last game, but he tweaked something, and it looks like he didn't practice today. So that's a whole bunch of injuries on the receivers. So today they made an announcement. They brought back Mayala. So Mayala is a Canadian receiver. He was let go soon after training. Soon after training camp or the preseason games, but they brought him back. So he knows the playbook. So hopefully he'll be able to step right in right away. And they also brought in Fitzgerald, who also went through training camp, so he should also know the playbook. Um, and then they let go of Sione Tehema, as we mentioned earlier. Um, thoughts, Arthur, on these changes?
well. Tehama was a designated American, so he's limited to the 20 snaps per game. You'd think that he'd be fresh for 20 snaps, right?
Yeah,
So and unfortunately just became a numbers game. We have a lot of Canadian receivers that are down
yeah,
or are beat up, so you just needed to money has to come from somewhere, right? They have to balance the salary cap. So,
yeah,
um, yeah,
yeah,
it's to be expected. I'm just surprised they didn't bring in there weren't more changes on the DBs, but I guess they can always activate somebody.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we need the help the most. Um, yeah. JSJ from TikTok says need to bring the younger Locombo brother to BC to help the secondary. Luca from TikTok says, "Do you think it's time to fire the head coach?" Arthur, your
No, no,
thoughts?
no, 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 no. He just had what? 1 year and 2 games so far, right? It takes time. Um, this CFL season, at least in the West, it's going to be a slugfest. You're going to have you have. I think Edmonton is better, and Winnipeg is better.
Yeah,
Um, it's going to be a slugfest. I think whoever wins the division might have 10, 11 wins, right? And then you're going to have a lot of teams just hovering around 500.
yeah,
So it's gonna be tight. So stay the course. You're not gonna get a new head coach, and then there's an operations cap, salary cap for the CFL. So you're not gonna replace the head coach now.
Yeah. Mark says Nick Senecal needs to be a permanent starter when every receiver is healthy. Rookie contract for next 2 seasons. Yeah, he
Yeah,
looked
yeah,
impressive. He was impressive in the preseason game, and then when he stepped in last week, he was
yeah.
impressive too. I mean, his 2 touchdowns were later in the game, but still, that was impressive.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I agree, Mark. And we have one more Canadian receiver, Demontenac, who's also injured. And there's it sounds really promising. So I'd love to see him in an actual live game as opposed to just the preseason. Yeah, just believe, just believe wants Dickinson to be fired. Okay, sorry, we can't help you there. Just believe, but
You get no argument from Three Down Bros Greg on that
yeah,
one.
if Greg was here, he would be cheering you on. All right, so hopefully we'll see a much stronger lineup and a much more robust secondary against Calgary this week. Okay, let's move on to the CFL games this week. Let's touch quickly on 2 games: Saskatchewan versus Calgary and Montreal versus Edmonton. Let's go with Montreal versus Edmonton
This
first.
past week, right?
Yeah, on Saturday, the
Yeah.
the triple header.
Hmm.
Uh, I was impressed by Edmonton. I didn't think that they would play so well, given how they ended last year.
Oh,
But
Rankin. That's another. Rankin was hot finishing the year.
yes,
So he's just picked up where he left off.
yeah. But for Fajardo, played with a lot of confidence too. Yeah. So
I mean, his stat line is okay. It's okay. 19 for 29, 231 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But Rankin, 18 carries for 179
yeah.
yards on the ground and 5 for 5 for 51 yards receiving.
Yes. And you know what? And I'm in the process of doing a short video on this. I was so impressed with 3 of those runs. Um, Fajardo was ahead of him blocking for him.
Mm,
Uh, you hardly see that nowadays. A quarterback blocking for his running back. It wasn't even a called play because a couple of those he was going one way, it was shut down, and then he
hmm
reversed course.
hmm
And when Fajardo saw that, he took it upon himself to become the lead blocker,
hmm
and he made a couple good blocks too. So that was very impressive for me. I know you kind of like Fajardo a bit. I mean, maybe you're hot and cold with him, but
Well, I
this,
like him better when he's not with Saskatchewan. But no, that shows leadership. Let's be
yeah,
honest. Like I'll call a spade with
yes,
Cody, right?
yes,
Showing leadership. He wants to win. He was benched for Davis Alexander in Montreal, right?
yes,
And he got a new lease on life when he went to Edmonton and he got the starters. So he give him credit. He
yes,
had an opportunity and he seized it in Edmonton. And now he's leading by example, being physical, um, and being tough. So that's
yes,
the way to do it,
yeah.
right? And
And that was beautiful too because so three of those runs, he was the lead blocker, and then on the game winning touchdown, he faked the handoff to Rankin, and then he pulled it back and he ran it in for a touchdown. Um, so that was, yeah, I thought that was a beautiful way to end the game.
yeah, Edmonton's really improved. So yeah, let's see them play, like Saskatchewan, it'll be a good test for them.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna play them first, I think, right? We're gonna play them 2 weeks from
Yeah,
now.
I'm hoping we can give them a really good test.
Yeah,
But I mean, we're better against the run, so hopefully we can limit Rankin. But he's running wild right now.
he is. Yeah, yeah. Comment from TikTok. So Ride Dog, I'm going to both games in Kelowna. Yes, we are too. We're going to be in both games in Kelowna. Luca, what is the acceptable for the Lions to finish with the record? Oh, like what's an acceptable record for the Lions to finish? I mean, I'm hoping we win the Grey Cup, right? But I don't know what you mean by acceptable.
Like regular season record,
Yeah,
probably. I have them finishing 10-8 being second in the West.
Yeah.
So I think this year 10-8 with their schedule and not being at home until week 7 or whatever, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Um, I think 10-8 will be fine. I mean, it won't matter. It really just are they hot going into the playoffs?
Yeah.
Because
R-
they can beat anyone, they can beat anybody, but they have to play at their best, right?
Yeah. Rye Dog says on TikTok, after last game, I'm worried about the Lions. I mean, it's only 2 games. It's shown they've shown a lot of the 2 games have exposed a lot of weaknesses. Um, there's still time in the season to fix those. We do have, I mean, other than the secondary where we only have, other than secondary, like the D line, the receivers, the O line, I think we do have the horses. It's just not clicking. So I'm still hopeful that we can turn it around, and I'm still gunning for a first place finish on the West Division. So it's still early in the season. Um, Zimmerman asks, "Are you in the VIP section?" No, we're in the front row, a little bit off center around the 35-yard line, I think. This is in Kelowna. All right, so that's the Edmonton game. How about the Saskatchewan Calgary game? Um, what did you think, Arthur?
Say that again, Roland.
The Saskatchewan Calgary game.
I mean, I like what Wayne said. I mean, I don't know why Corey Mace attempted a long field goal at the end of the first half, going into the wind. It was just the Saskatchewan mistakes that gave Calgary 14 points gift wrapping in the first half. It would have been like complete domination. Harris, I don't know, he pump faked, the first kind of fumble, and then it was like on the 14-yard line.
Yeah,
And then so like it was like gifted points, and then
yeah, those turnovers. Yeah,
and Saskatchewan, we've been singing their praises. They've been good, two wins, but in that fourth quarter, their defense has allowed BC to take the lead on them at home when
yeah,
they're at home, and they allowed Calgary to catch up or tie them, right? So, again, a win's a win, and I think they played in McMahon. Win's a win, but their defense is a little leaky in the fourth. But I mean, they were able to make the win, make the plays when it
yeah,
mattered, right?
yeah.
So I think,
I
yeah,
mean,
they look really
yeah.
good. They look
I
really
mean,
good, but
the
there's
other
some
team,
warts.
the other team came to play too, right?
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
the other team's not going to roll over, right? So
Well, and
yeah,
especially if they're at home,
yeah,
I mean, and VA is not going to roll over, right?
yeah,
He's a gunner, right? And
yeah,
he's going to take his shots downfield. So
yeah, yeah. Just Believe says the way it's going, I don't expect BC to win until week 13. Uh, I'm more hopeful than that.
I think it's a typo. I think he meant week 3.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
I think it's a typo.
Okay.
These Calgary guys can't type very well. I don't know.
Has for Laugh says, your friend took the cruise at the correct time during the Lions season. Yeah, he did, Greg. Wayne says, I love Corey Mace as our coach, but he made a mistake. Yeah.
Field
So,
goal. Yeah, that was.
but let me read a few more comments from TikTok. Lucas says, do you think if Nathan has another mid-season, do you think it's time to move on from him? I don't. Okay, I'll answer first. I don't think so. I think he's our franchise quarterback for the long term.
Yep.
Yeah. Rye Dog says the Lions can't afford any more injuries. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's how I left after talking to Rourke and Hatcher on Saturday. I just asked them to be safe, stay healthy, be safe, stay healthy. We can't afford you guys going down.
Injuries are part of it. Everyone has to deal
Yeah,
with it. So
yeah,
you just have to rise. It's just next man up, right? That's why you have depth, and it's a team sport.
yeah.
But
All right, let's take a closer look at this upcoming game, BC versus Calgary. It's our quote home game, but it'll be in Kelowna. One of two games in Kelowna. It'll be a blast because the whole week is going to be a Canada Day week celebration in Kelowna. So, um, so what I did and is that since both BC and Calgary have played Saskatchewan, I thought let's take a look at the two stats head to head. How Calgary did against Saskatchewan and how BC did against Saskatchewan. We'll take a look at those stats and see if we can get anything out of it. Okay, so I've got 4 slides here. Let me bring one up. I'll walk through it and then I'll get Arthur's thoughts and maybe you guys on the online get your thoughts as well. All right. So again, this is comparing our stats against Saskatchewan versus Calgary stats versus Saskatchewan. So the first one is the percent of total net offense. So total net offense in the game. What percentage did Calgary have and what percentage did BC have? So Calgary had 45% of the total net offense in their game against Saskatchewan, while BC had 46%. So just it's very close, but I put green for BC because it's higher than Calgary's. Total offensive plays in the game, Calgary had 46% of the total offensive plays, and BC had 50%, so a little bit more. So about even between our number of offensive plays versus Saskatchewan when we played them. Then average yards per play, 7.5 for BC against Saskatchewan, 6.9 for Calgary against Saskatchewan. And the average yards per play against, so how many yards Saskatchewan had on each of their offensive plays against Calgary? They got 7, and against BC, they got 8.7. So we did weaker than Calgary there. Okay, I've got 3 more slides, but Arthur, initial reaction to these stats, high level.
It looks like BC played better against Saskatchewan. I would say score effects greatly helps Calgary, especially they're behind quite a bit in the fourth quarter. I mean, you could say score effects helped. Yeah. I think the BC game, Saskatchewan jumped out to an early lead, but it's still very early.
Yeah.
While Saskatchewan had a fairly big lead into the third and fourth quarters. So, but then BC had better offensive stats. Of course, their defense, the red number there, shows another stat, and that's what we know. The Calgary defense, although they let a lot of points in, unfortunately into overtime. But yeah, so it makes sense.
Yeah. All right. I'll go to the next slide, but let me read a few comments before I do that. Rhett on TikTok says Riders defense can't have any more injuries. Yeah, I think we could say the same for the BC offense. Ride Dog says, as of right now, the game Saturday in Kelowna is expecting a small amount of rain. Luca on TikTok says, BC really needs to improve going into next year. Well, we need to improve this year, let alone next year. I'm thinking this year we need to improve. Let me read a few more comments. Just Believe wants a trade. He says, we'll take Nathan in Calgary for Hicks. Then you get a D lineman. I don't think we're going to be trading Nathan anytime soon.
There's something in that water in Calgary, I'll tell you.
Shane is responding. The Riders only have 2 major injuries in defense right now. Okay, so let me go to the next slide. So this one here is passing. So percentage of total pass yards for the entire game. BC had 44% of the passing yards. Calgary had 42. So Saskatchewan got us beat both, right? So Saskatchewan got 56 against us, 56% of the pass yards, and 58 against Calgary. So pass attempts, we had about 51% of the pass attempts. Calgary had 45 against Saskatchewan. Average yards per pass was 8.9 for us, 8.5 for Calgary. And average yards per pass against, so this is our defense allowing pass yards. We allowed 11.6, and Calgary allowed 9.7 yards per pass. Arthur, any immediate thoughts?
Yeah, and just highlights. I think BC's offense outperformed Calgary's offense versus the Riders, but obviously their defense
Yes.
underperforming versus Calgary. So,
Yeah.
and then these stats just highlight what you had in your previous slide.
Yeah. Okay. Let's look at the running game. So total percentage of total rush yards, we got 56% of the rush yards in our game against Saskatchewan. Calgary got 42. Rush attempts, the number of rushing attempts, we were both tied at 47%. Average yards per rush, we got 5.8 against Saskatchewan. Calgary got 5.4 yards per rush. And on the defense side, yards against rush, we allowed 4.1 yards per rush. Calgary allowed 4.3 against Saskatchewan. So, uh, your interpretation of these stats, Arth?
I think we rushed the ball more. I think it was really more Nathan Rourke was, making some plays on the ground. I think, and I mean, rushing's fairly static. I think Nathan Work helped with the average rush and the total amount of rush yards.
Yeah,
I mean, Calgary was quite down, right? They were quite down, and then they had to, when they're down, VA will go deep. So, but fairly similar. Just Nate was taking off with the ball quite a bit for BC and getting. I
yeah,
think he had like almost 60 yards rushing against Saskatchewan.
yeah. I'll just read a quick comment from Just Believe. After watching the Stamps versus Riders game, how did y'all's, I think, how did BC defense play worse than ours? That's a good question. But yeah, our defense really needs a lot of help right now, especially the secondary. Okay, last slide on stats. This again, comparing head to head how BC fared against Saskatchewan versus how Calgary fared against Saskatchewan. Percent of total first downs, we only got 36% of the first downs against Saskatchewan, while Calgary got 53% of the first downs. But second down conversions, we converted on 52% of our second downs, while Calgary converted on 35%. Second down conversions against, so second down conversions that our defense allowed, we allowed 65% against Saskatchewan. Well,
Yeah, it was
Calgary
terrible.
only
That was
allowed
not a good
59.
game.
I
Yeah,
know
not a
that's
good
really
game.
bad.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
Percent of total penalty yards. So we only incurred 25% of the penalty yards against Saskatchewan. Calgary incurred 67%. Um, percent of total red zone opportunities. So half of the red zone opportunities were ours against Saskatchewan. Calgary only had 43%. Percent of total sacks. So Calgary got 2/3 of the sacks. We only got 1/3 of the sacks in the game against Saskatchewan. And percent of total tackles for loss. So we got 1/3 of the tackles for loss. Calgary didn't have any.
First
Anything?
downs, and it's just number of first downs always misleading, right? But I mean, it's indicator of ball control, right? So
Yeah,
Calgary, but second down conversions is a more telling stat. Is
yeah,
maybe we had more second and shorts, and then Nate can run the ball a bit better than
yeah,
VA. I'm sure Jerry's very good at that too.
yes, yeah,
Second down conversions against, that's a really terrible stat for both
yeah,
teams, honestly, and BC especially, and
yeah,
especially in the first quarter, that second down conversion against on the defense, that was just absolutely terrible. It was almost like I think it was well, the only one they lost, it was second and two, which became a third and one, and then they converted a third and one
yeah,
on the first two drives against, because the first two drives against were touchdowns.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and the rest is yeah. The
yeah,
sacks were like we had one sack for, and we had two sacks against, so
yeah, that's right.
it's a 33%. That's why.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So those are the two stats. So based on this, I think the high level takeaway Arthur mentioned earlier is that our offense outperformed Calgary's offense against Saskatchewan, but our defense underperformed. against Saskatchewan compared to Calgary. So that should give us a little bit of an indication of how this game against Calgary is going to be this Saturday.
I think pretty close. I mean, again, Calgary, although stats wise offensively underperformed, they still pushed it overtime
Yeah,
and able
they
to
did.
score quite a bit of
That's
points,
right.
you
Yeah,
know. Um, Although they were gifted 14, at least
yeah.
gifted 14 point. Well, they had to earn it. So I mean,
Turnovers.
you
Yeah,
still have the run back of missed field goal, right?
yeah.
But I mean, okay,
I
the
mean, that was
fumble,
a
yeah,
that was a beautiful play, and then
yeah, it was a beautiful play.
the
Yeah,
dropped kickoff return or punt
yeah,
return.
yeah. So, but they seize the opportunity and they're gamers, and they have Vernon Adams, a very a great leader and a great person, a very good quarterback too. So they're not out of the game with Vernon Adams and Mills as a running back. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's gonna be a tough test.
yeah,
We need to batten down the hatches. We need to park the bus on defense. I'm sorry, using a football analogy. We need to park the bus.
what does that mean?
So I-
Park the bus.
we need to
I don't.
really, yeah. Let's just say just be more stout defensively
Okay.
in the middle.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. We're not. Yeah, so we're not gonna be so loose. But I mean, what we're gonna do, right? I mean, like what Q-Man said, right? We tried all these different coverages.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do? What else can you do? Unless you can sneak a couple extra guys on the field that.
I think
Um,
to a man, each person on that defense needs to take it upon themselves to execute and not make stupid mistakes. That's the only way. I mean, what else? What else can you do? Actually, there's a comment from TikTok. Let me find it. Um, Luca says we need defensive leader that can ball also like a corner or a nickel. Um, yeah, I think these are the intangibles, right? When we brought in Sankey, I thought Sankey could bring in that heart, and we asked our guest last week, Matt Baker,
Matt Baker, yeah.
who's the heart of the defense, and he mentioned Sankey being one of them, of course, right? With Gary Peters and T.J. Lee, but yeah, I, you know, if you got players that are not playing to their full potential, they need a leader to really push them and encourage them to do that, right? And that they haven't clicked yet.
I think you need a veteran leader on the field and the
Yes.
secondary. Like that's where you're missing Peters, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone goes through injuries, but when you have inexperienced corners. One guy's second year in the CFL, one guy's a rookie,
Yeah.
right? Um, Everyone knows that these corners don't have a lot of experience. It's different than having a Gary Peters back there, right? And hey, every team goes through injuries, right? So one guy shouldn't really sink the ship and upset the apple cart. But it's tough right now, and then you're compensating for the inexperienced corners,
Yes.
and then there's more holes, right?
Yeah.
So, and there's only so much Sankey can do, right? Like in terms
Yeah.
of leadership, if your pass defense is being exploited as a middle linebacker, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah. I like that one play where it's a goal line stand. They had two shots at it. The first shot, Sankey met the uh, met
Hmm.
the quarterback head on,
Hmm.
and that was a loud hit. But
Mm,
then he couldn't do that the second time, so they got it in.
yeah.
Um, Let me read a few comments. Just Believe says Calgary's penalties killed them and their first half defense as well.
Oh yeah.
Shane says the offside was a gift to them as well. Yeah. Um, Just Believe says the fact that your defense played worse than ours, Calgary will play much better this week. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not a gimme. There's going to be a tough game against Calgary this Saturday. Mark goes Stamps, better special teams and better pass rush, especially if Flo returns this week. BC more consistent QB.
Better
Yeah,
special teams and better pass rush, sure. Probably better secondary,
yeah, I would say
but
yes.
the quarterback position can cover up a lot of holes in your team. So is this question is how many healthy receivers do we have? We have enough playmakers to help out Nathan.
Yeah,
Then BC will make a game out of it. I mean, no one's saying BC's going to go in and blow out the Stamps at all. I mean, we're just hoping to win a close game,
yeah,
right? It's going to be tight. It's going to be a tight game, and right now on paper, the way things are rolling, maybe Calgary's got the advantage in terms of like
yes,
you're looking at the injuries and you're looking at how BC played in their second game versus how Calgary has played in their game so far. Um, yeah, maybe Calgary does have the advantage, but again, I'll go to war with Nathan Rourke any day. Any other versus you give me a choice of any quarterback, I'll go to war with Nathan Rourke and see what he can do. And he of
yeah,
course he can't win the game by himself, but he can, definitely push the odds in our way more than any other quarterback.
yeah,
So hey, you go to Kelowna and face a good Stamps team and you play your best, and then injuries, personnel, whatnot, you give your best effort. That's all we want. Well, all what we want, right, Roland?
yeah. That's right.
Put your
That's right.
best effort forward and let's see what happens.
Yeah,
It's
including all the new guys. The new guys need to
yeah,
put their best effort in as well.
yeah.
Um, and we've
And,
seen they can do it, right? We saw Senecal rise up. We saw Poisson, um, make a few good catches. So it's possible. They just need to have the right mindset. Um, Shane, okay, the writers will give Marcus sales for bets. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, sales. He played a lot better once he left BC. So yeah, that seems to be our curse, right? We trade someone away and then they start
they
playing
have a
better.
better secondary overall, and they have a very good defensive line rotation, which gives him a lot. He, like which it helps him quite a bit. So, and he never played corner with us. He played half, right? So corner is easier to play in the CFL than half.
Okay. Wayne says, I think the Lions will eventually get their defense figured out. If not, then the Lions may be in trouble. Yeah, they have to get it figured out. There's no question about it.
They will just give him more time. I mean, like the rookie, I think Russell, right? I mean, he just has to. I mean, I think Robert Carter Jr. He improved as the
Yeah.
year went on, right?
Yes.
And you just got to give them time. I mean, they need reps. They need to be able to communicate and play with
Yeah.
their other fellow DBs.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to have the lead, have like a 1 or 2 score lead
Yeah.
versus you're always
Yeah.
you're playing catch. So far, we've been playing catch up, right? And that's always been tough. We have slow starts. The other quarterback is on fire
Yeah.
for whatever reason. We can't necessarily keep up offensively. We talked about this before, but if we can get the lead, we can run the ball, we can grind it out. Um, then we don't have to devote so much to the run defense because they have to pass, and then we can let the game come to us versus we're trying to force the game.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Let me read some comments here. Just Believe says, I hope Flo will be back. His return will impact the Stamps defense immensely. Okay, here Wayne says, no, the writers will not trade Marcus Sales. Just Believes, how do y'all only have 260 subs? We haven't been asking for subs, but if that's a good point. If you guys would like to subscribe to our channel, we would really appreciate it. Um, Mark says better starts for BC is critical. They don't look ready to play out of the gate, and that's on the coaches. Yeah, I 100% agree. That's on the coaches. You got to prepare your team mentally to come into the game. We know we have the horses. We've seen Nathan come out, hot in a game. He's done it so many times before. But if the players aren't ready and they start, missing assignments, missing blocks, um, then it starts to compound. So that's what I mean when I said they haven't clicked yet. I think once they click, then it'll be a much stronger team. Rydog says, "Do you think the Lions have the right coaching staff?" Arthur.
I think offensively they do. Defensively, it's hard to say. Like who else can we bring in? Right? I don't think that is that. Um, we have an inexperienced secondary right now.
Yeah.
Right? Finley's in his second year. There wasn't even a full time starter last year. Russell is his first year. Colden is his second year.
Yeah.
And Kent, I think, is in third or fourth year.
Yeah.
And we were talking about improvements to the secondary. What was probably what was needed.
Yes.
These guys the guys they brought in are younger, maybe a little bigger, and eventually you're gonna have to transition from Peters and Lee.
Yes.
So anytime you bring in new secondary and inexperienced secondary guys, you're going to take a hit there. But the question is, how are they going to perform in the second half of the season
Yeah.
versus the first half? Right, first half's going to be tough, and hopefully BC can counter that with pressure on the quarterback, ball control offense, getting a lead, right? Complementary football. If they can do that, then they can kind of buffer this learning curve and kind of help out the learning curve of of the secondary, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Um, Let me read a comment from TikTok. Hearn, uh, just he's a question. Do you think the defense is a lack of skill or is it Benavides? Or could be both, right?
Could be both. It's hard to say, right? Because only why I say is we don't know if he is giving them is if Benavides is giving the D complicated scheme that they cannot execute,
Yeah.
right? We don't know if it's an execution failure or a scheme failure.
Yeah.
The reason why they're giving up big plays or giving up the easy pass, right?
Yeah.
Those allowing the second down conversions. So we don't know that, and therefore it's hard to tell. But maybe a bit of both.
Yeah. I think it's a bit of both.
But basically, is hey, the coordinator has to be able to solve problems, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's why
The
they're
buck
the
stops
coordinator.
with Benavides in terms of defense, right? So
Yeah, he has to like figure a way to stop the bleeding.
yeah.
Um,
Um, so Shane says, to be fair, Calgary started slow versus the Riders. If they do that versus the Lions, it may just be what the Lions need to win. Hopefully that's going to happen. But then just believe counters that. Snaps are going to come out swinging. TD on the first drive.
I mean,
Shane says, Snaps going to come out and surprise the league with 60 yards in 2 quarters again.
come in surprise. I love that. Wow, this Calgary Saskatchewan rivalry is hard is more heated than any BC rivalry.
That's right. Just believe says, letting go of Mark Killen was so stupid of the Stamps.
Well, I mean, what are they gonna do? Like fire Dickey? Come on, they weren't gonna do that, were
Yeah.
they?
Yeah. Uh, I think he's there long term.
But Roland, if you're Vernon Adams Jr., are you licking your chops to go against this secondary?
Absolutely. Just like Bo Levi was.
Yeah. Oh
Bo
boy.
Levi was, he had a chip on his shoulder for not getting MOP, right? So so I think VA is gonna be licking his chops too, yeah.
He'd be
Okay,
going deep.
yeah, and VA can do that.
Oh yeah,
He has the
yeah.
ability. Um, um, Let me read a few comments. Rydog on TikTok says, "Do you think the CFL ever expands to add more teams?" I think so. I don't know when. The biggest thing I hear is that they need a stadium in whatever city they're going to be expanding to. So that's first step, right? And that costs a lot of money to have a stadium. So
Roland, a lot of stadiums in the U.S. A lot of cities with stadiums in the U.S.
yeah, I don't know. Not sure. Not sure if I'd rather see us expand in Canada and kind of establish a strong foundation first before we think about the US, right?
We don't have to worry about the 55-yard line.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. uh, a question from Rydog again. Do you like the new playoff format the commissioner has come up with for next year? So just a quick recap for those who aren't aware. 8 of 9 teams are going to make the playoffs next year.
Why not? More revenue.
So 8 of 9 teams. If you end up number one in your division, you can afford to lose your first game and still not be eliminated. So those are the two biggest things. Um, a lot of people say it's hokey. That almost everyone makes it. I tell everyone sucks to be number 9 because you don't get invited to the dance everyone else does. But if it increases more revenue, uh, I'm good with it. Okay. Okay. Wayne says, I heard somewhere that for every starting rookie on your team, you lose one game.
Uh,
I don't know. That's a stat that's not being collected, but maybe you should collect that stat.
I'm hesitant to check the BC roster then because I might be in a bad mood,
Okay.
Roland.
Zimmerman says, to be fair, look at when we played a regular season game in Victoria. What is that about how many people attended? I mean, it was a great experience, that regular season game. Just Believe says VA is gonna light up. Shane says VA should use his feet more. Yeah, he can burn us on both on both
Oh yeah,
counts.
no doubt about it.
Yeah. Shane says, wasn't there American teams in the CFL before? Yeah, there was an experiment in the 90s for how many years? 2-3 years, I
Two,
think.
3, 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, where the CFL expanded into the US and we had American teams, yeah, in the 90s. But they didn't make money, and so they canceled it. And the Montreal Alouettes, the current incarnation of Montreal Alouettes, was the Baltimore team. They relocated the whole team up north. Yeah. Zimmerman says they were going to expand to Halifax, but COVID happened and the plan never went ahead. Yeah. Just Believe says, yes, there were American teams. Just Believe, yeah, Baltimore won the Grey Cup. Yeah. And then they came up and became Montreal Alouettes. And Montreal was dominant for a few years after that. VA was so good in BC. What happened? I blame the coach. It's not the coach. What happened was Nathan Rourke came back. And they couldn't keep both quarterbacks. So I love VA. He's a great guy. But Nathan Rourke has a longer runway, so the team decided to they can only keep one, so they kept Rourke and VA. But you know what? They did VA well. They treated him fairly. They could have traded him to an Eastern team, so that it's not going to be a division rival. But they traded him to Calgary. VA lives in Washington State. So Calgary was the next closest team, and so they did him well, right? Oh, Just Believe says, no, I mean, why is he bad now? He's not bad now. You think he's bad now?
He had a rough game at times against Saskatchewan. Like he missed some throws, he didn't
Yeah.
look great, but then he got hot at the end, right? Made
Yeah.
some big throws.
Just Believe says he's not as good as he was in BC. I don't know about that. Like when he was in BC, when he's hot, and then when he's cold, he's cold.
I think he had better receivers in BC when he lit it up.
Okay.
He had better receivers. I mean, last year was tough. Bagleton went down week 1, maybe like the first half of the first game. There was a lot of injuries and the receiving core.
Yeah.
So I think BC had better receivers back then. Maybe now, maybe Calgary's receivers are better, and Philpott's looks like Jaden Philpott looks like he's gonna, take a step to stardom. So
Yeah. When VA was here, we had Brian Burnham, We had Dominic Rhymes. We had uh,
Hatcher,
Hatcher. Yeah.
Hatcher,
We had
Whitehead.
Lucky Whitehead. So yeah, great guys. Yeah. Just believe he was consistent in BC. He isn't now. Calgary got rid of all their good receivers. Um, I don't know if he. I wouldn't say he's like 100% consistent. He had a few inconsistent games as well in BC.
He'd start hot, and then he'd get injured or get into a cold spell, and then rebound.
Yeah,
Just couldn't win against Winnipeg
yeah. Winnipeg
in
was
the
our
playoffs on the road.
our kryptonite. Not just for VA, for Rourke as well. Winnipeg
Yeah, yeah.
had been our kryptonite. But yeah, okay. Let me read one more comment and then we'll go to our last segment. Rydog asks, do you think the CFL needs to change the schedule to avoid going up against the NFL once NFL starts? I mean, next year they're going to pull the schedule up, right? We're going to start earlier.
Even earlier.
Yeah, even earlier now. So the commissioner thinks that might help. Yeah, I think there's also talk that with the warmer weather, they think they'll get more people coming out to the games. Before the cold weather comes in. Yeah. Just believe Rhymes wasn't good last year. Yeah, I think Rhymes is kind of on the tail end of his.
Well, he retired right after this season.
Yeah. Okay. Just believe you don't got to worry about Winnipeg this year.
Ooh,
Okay.
whoa. No, they're pretty improved. We'll see.
Yeah, Rhymes. He retired yet. Rydog says on TikTok, I hope Nathan has a career game on Saturday. I hope so too. We know what he's capable of. And I mean, if we are frustrated, I can imagine how frustrated he is as well. He knows his potential and he's not able to display it.
I just don't want him thinking that he has to do like a 500-yard game just to win a game, right? I think the whole team has to rally.
Yeah.
And not just like have your quarterback go like supernova just to win a game. I mean, everyone just does their part, and then Nate has like a 300-yard game. I think we can win.
Yeah.
That's a big ifs on all around, right? On
Yes.
all the
A
other
lot of ifs,
components
yeah.
of the.
Yeah. Okay. Rydog says it's going to be a loud, intimate atmosphere on Saturday. It should be loud. Yeah. I'm looking forward to our first quote home game. Although there's probably going to be a lot of Calgary jerseys there. My brother-in-law is coming over from Calgary to watch our game, so he'll be wearing red right beside our orange. All right. Okay, let's go to our last segment, Arthur. Let's look at predictions. Let's look at last week's predictions. Did anyone hit the prediction head on?
So we had Just Believe with a Hamilton win by 5. Wayne had a Hamilton win by 6. Tommy had a Hamilton win by 3. Mark had a Hamilton win by 8. And that was it.
Okay.
The rest were BC. Well,
So-
and Greg 28-24 Hamilton.
All right.
3 down bros Greg
For
predicting.
between the three of us, he's the closest then.
Yeah, because Hamilton won.
Yeah, but you said someone, one of our viewers.
A number of years. Just Believe picked Hamilton. Wayne picked Hamilton.
Yeah.
Tommy picked Hamilton. And Mark picked Hamilton.
Yeah. Just Believe says, I said Hamilton would score 43, so I was close on that.
Yeah, BC would score 38. So, yeah. I mean, your margin of victory is 5. Yeah, so pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, good stuff, Just Believe. It wasn't the number that I would have wanted to see, but good. Wayne says, yeah, the QB is the most important player, but he can't do it alone. It's a team game. Yeah, football
Especially
is the ultimate
football.
team game.
Yeah, especially football. Yeah. Canadian football, the Canadian football.
Yes. All right. Rydog on TikTok says, these 2 games will prove BC needs an outdoor stadium. Yeah, that's another tough one. There's no money to build another stadium. So for now at least, we're still going to be in BC Place. Okay, Arthur, predictions for next week. BC against Calgary.
33-24 British Columbia.
All right. I'm going to say
You had them 4-1 after the first 5 games.
yeah. Well, I already missed that one.
No, it's okay. I'm 3-2, so I'm like
so
Greg's looking at 2-3. He's looking the best so far.
So I'm going to say, okay, you guys online, if you want to put in your predictions, Arthur will record that as well, and we'll see next week who gets close. So I'm going to say BC will win. I think it's going to be a shootout. So I'm going to say 39-36 for BC.
Greg, we don't know yet, so he'll let us know.
We'll get his when he comes back. And for you guys online, if you want to put in your predictions, Arthur will write it down and we'll.
So I predict Just Believe will say 42-7.
You're predicting on Just Believe's prediction now.
42-7, right? Just Believe. Calgary, of course.
Okay, we got Ride Dog from TikTok, 27-23 for BC. Wayne says Lions 35, Stamps 25. Mark says Stamps 34, BC 27.
Got it.
Just Believe says Stamps win by 35-27.
Is that lighting up? Just Believe. Is that lighting up? VA's going to light it up?
Yeah. Did you see that while we're waiting for people to put in their predictions, did you see that interview that Ian Hannamansings from CBC did with Nathan Rourke?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay. For you guys who haven't seen it yet, go take a look at it. That interview really shows Nathan's character. They talked about him, supporting the that fight against gender violence and all that. So it's a really good interview. Rye Dog says, no blowout, please. I want to see a good close game. Yeah, I think it's going to be close. That's my feeling too. Just Believe says, VA will throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns. Both threw for 5. I think VA will try to get 5 as well. How much older is Bo Levi versus VA?
It's like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah. And Mills will have 100 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, I think Mills might have more than 1 touchdown.
I don't think Calgary Stampeders needs a PR department with Just Believe around.
Yeah. All right. We'll give you a few more minutes for any more predictions to come in. Just Believe says Bo is like 37 and VA is like 32.
More like 38 and 33.
Okay, that's just 1 year apart.
Yeah, I mean, same difference.
Yeah. But it goes to show you, Bo I put a comment on social media. He's having a renaissance year. If he continues playing like this, like age is not an issue, right?
33 and 36. All right, cool.
Okay, so they're only 3 years apart. Yeah. Rydog says, what are the Lions doing in the week in between games? Any special events in Kelowna? I'm not sure if the Lions are staying, the players are staying in Kelowna for the whole week. They might be coming back, but there are a lot of celebrations happening in Kelowna for the whole week. So
I think
not,
like viewing parties. There's like there's events. So
yeah,
and they're gonna be there 2 weeks in a row. So I think
yeah. All right. So I think those are all the predictions. So just believes this. Instead of getting rid of Bo, the stamp should have gotten rid of Dicky. Okay. Yeah. But yeah. To be fair, Bo Levi did look like he was on a downward trend when he left Calgary. But
and Jake Mayer looked like pretty steady, right?
yeah,
Intermediate, short passer, and looked pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah, no one would have thought this is what happened. But I mean, Bo's he has like a great deep ball,
yeah,
and he's got really good receivers now. That really helps.
yes,
Milanovic is a good OC.
yeah. Ride Dog says, I hope the rain can stay away for Saturday. Yeah. Okay, Mark says they are there. The Lions players are there for a week and staying at UBC Okanagan. Okay, wonderful. Thanks for that. Just believes says Bo did look washed, but I blame Dickey. Mayer was good for like 3 games, and they decided to judge him off the games when nobody had film on him.
3 games. Oh man, man, I thought Greg was critical. Oh boy, three.
All right. Okay, it's 9:16. I think we got all the predictions. Hey guys, it was great chatting with you. Lots of fun, just bantering back and forth like this. Um, you guys have a great evening, a great week. Those of you that will be in Kelowna, hopefully we can meet up while we're there. Otherwise, catch us. We're gonna do a short live stream after the game in Kelowna. Just a quick um, video on reactions, and then we'll catch you on our regular show the following Monday.
Yeah, come by to say hi.
Yeah.
When the Lions win, we have game ball, so come by.
All
You
right.
can be on our reel to indicate who your game ball is on a win,
That's right.
on a Lions win. Do you come?
Ride Dog says maybe see you at the game Saturday. Yes, hope to see you there. Um, Just Believe says go Stamps go. Have a great trip, guys. Mark says. Ride Dog says Lions winning both in Kelowna. Okay, awesome. Great. Take care, guys. Have a great week, and we'll catch you next time. Good night. Go Lions.
Go Team Portugal. Go Team Canada.
What? Okay, take care,
And go
guys.
Lions. And go Lions.